One, two, three.
Welcome to Oregon Quilting, and I hope you had a wonderful summer. And this is actually program number 24. Can you believe it? We've been doing this for 2 years, and we have a live audience today. Yay! And we're celebrating back to school. And I would like to invite any of my students that might still be around and see this, either from Jackson High School when it was high school and I was in the music department, or Benson High School in the band, or on the Oregon coast when I taught at Hebo. 3rd and 4th were my favorite. Or 45 years ago when I had preschool. So if any of you, my old students are watching, my students who now are a little older than they were in kindergarten or high school, you can go to the website, OregonQuilting.net, and there's a post office box, P.O. Box 23432, Tigard, Oregon, 97281, and send me a message or send me a card, or go to Facebook, Oregon Quilting, or you can find my name on Facebook. So I would love to hear from you, and I tried to find some of the things that I used to have on my desk. I can't find any of them. And of course I always had a cup that you thought had coffee or water in it. No, it used to have Pepsi in it. That's one of my secrets, but okay, so we have people who are going to share today, and I have some things to share. We are doing our raffle, as always, so we'll do our first drawing before we even start. So, okay, so let's see what we have today. 550 265. Oh, well, as a matter of fact, Faith, you don't get to pick from the table. You have to come up here.
Right now?
Right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. You see what you miss every time. If you come, you get stuff.
Oh boy.
So this is special for you. You don't get to pick today.
It's cold. No.
It's not Christmas. Christmas when we have stockings. Who
Christmas
knows
in
what
July
you're
or Christmas
so
in
you can-
August.
You can open it up. We'll even
Right
let
here?
her open it. Yeah, right here. Sure.
Well, good. It's something that's not gonna like
Blow up in your face.
Yeah, that's it. Blow up in my face. I love the fabric. Do I get to keep the fabric?
Oh yeah, you get to keep the wrapping.
Oh. Ooh.
It's blue, cobalt
It's
blue.
It's an insulator. No. Oh, it is an insulator. It's
Valerie?
Telephone Pioneers of America. Oh, I like that. Very cool. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So
I'm a major prize winner now.
again,
Like, yeah. Could you? I was so shocked when I saw that.
I know she got a special award for being a fan on Facebook of the Shank Company. So
I
Isn't
was
that
so, when
amazing?
they got a hold of me, I went, huh? I saw my name up there and I went, why is my name in big letters on Facebook? And they said, I always, like their site,
mhm.
and I always make a comment, and well, I love E.E. Shank. They're the bomb, everybody loves them. If they don't, then they just aren't quilters that know.
Except that it's wholesale only.
Yeah.
But Facebook, anybody can go on their Facebook site.
And they have Kelly is an awesome.
He's the display.
He does the displays, and he does a beautiful. He's got a great eye for color and form. He does a fabulous job, and I really like his work.
Yeah.
So, hey, Kelly, I mentioned you.
Okay, thank you.
you.
And Lynette brought something to share today. All right, Lynette, come and show us your project.
Okay, well, I used your challenge fabric from this time. I was inspired by your quilt and there was a trip around the world quilt that I saw a couple months ago that Angela did, and so I thought that was perfect to just have the black fabric and the multiple colors in it. So this is kind of similar. I don't know, maybe we should turn it this way. Let me turn it. It's just birds in the air blocks in the fat quarters, the colors. And then I got some of the extra for a little border to really highlight the black. And I didn't want it to be too girly, but it is girly, so I got some flannel for the back, some pink flannel. So I think that'll be sweet for a little girl. And to point out the flaws, you know, it was one of those that no matter how I laid it out, there was something that was next to each other that shouldn't be, but you know, there was no way to lay it out to get them more evenly. You know, it is what it is, but I like it.
That's nice.
And I liked your fabric that you picked.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Child of the 60s.
Yes, well,
Peace, love, and rock and roll.
our executive producer was selecting the fabric.
So that was my project.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Faith is back, and we're very happy to say that Corey, her son, made it back from Japan safely. So,
And I'll only be touching base on that today, today, and then if I ever get the yukata, which I need help with, I'm going to ask you for help with that because I have to make that. He's got to get that for Christmas.
okay.
So, but we can't tell him about this because mum's the word.
We
but I
can
do-
edit that out.
Yeah, well, no, you can put it. He's not going to watch it, trust me. It's not a Corey thing.
Oh, you'd be surprised, people that are watching it. Oh, by the way, thank you to our 28,000 followers.
Cool.
28,000.
Awesome. Well, today I have Angela's project, and they have kind of a lead-in for this one. And this was a shop hop that she did from the spring. And beautiful Asian colors kind of goes, that's probably why she has me showing this, because I can show off Asian stuff really well. But but we were just talking before I came on that we really liked the fabric on the back. Where did you get this particular fabric?
Tea Time Calicos, one by Fred Meyer in Beaverton Town Center.
Okay,
Inside the
Tea Time
sewing shop.
Calicos, so
Mhm.
That was
beautiful.
from the spring.
And this
Yeah.
this is a,
Has insult.
it's just
Oh,
a,
it's just back.
okay,
It's warm and natural
yeah. So, but
placement.
to step it up, she did it with challenge colors. And she said that she wants to make about 4 more, or 3, either 3 more or 5 more. I think, you know, as many as you can.
Placemats.
Yeah,
How much fabric I have.
yeah, exactly. But I think that's beautiful. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah,
festive.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
festive.
And it'll go with the next thing.
Yes, and it will go with this next thing. Now, this is, Angela had originally made this with blocks, and then she used what's called a twister tool,
The 10-inch.
the 10-inch, and you do its magic, and then okay, here's where the guys go. You sewed it together to cut it up to sew it together again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so what's your point, guys? That's how we get beautiful stuff like this.
Okay.
Yes. So, as I understand it, there will be some editing magic, and you will be able to see the before and the after. But this is going to have Insel Bright added to it when it is done, because technically right now it's just the top. And she's going to make it to put on the kitchen table So when you have pizza and whatnot, yeah, family gathering, you can put plates on the, or, you know, hot pans on it. And it'll go with her lovely little placemats.
And I want to show you the back, because the way that you iron it makes such a difference. And then all the seams come out. And when they go opposite directions, why then they just lock right in place and they fit together.
That's Lori worthy,
I try.
because
You did.
Lori does perfect bags.
Yes,
You
but
did
that's
a
the
good,
paper piece.
you
But
did
I've
a good
seen
job.
you did a beautiful job. You have to admit, we have seen some really scary things.
You notice I never show the back of my projects.
Now, my son Corey got back from Japan just this week, which will be a month. And I'm going to tell you, this smells like indigo.
They do,
And
It
indigo has a very strong odor.
yeah.
It almost has that,
You have to air,
it's
you have to air them
almost
out
a
for quite a
mothball smell
while.
to it. But that's what it smells like when it's cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a piece of indigo that he bought me in Mashiko, Japan. Now, this, let's see. They have these, you gotta, let's see. I think we're gonna have to lay it across this way. This is put in a doorway in a lot of homes and shops. And when you see this on a shop, it means that they're open. It tells people we're open for business. If you and this is in a lot of shops in Japan, in Tokyo, should I say. Mashiko has a indigo, what do you call it? It's not a plant because it's, well, I mean, indigo itself is, but they have a shop where they do this, and I had touched on it before when I had talked about Japan.
Because the pots are in the ground
And
there's fire.
yeah, and it's very strong smelling, but they get some beautiful results. Now, he had also stopped in, what's it called, Thailand, and spent a week there.
Okay.
But this is from Mashiko, where he was an apprentice. And this is actually an area where ceramics and pottery is very prominent. But luckily, one of the gals that was working at the indigo shop is a local.
Oh, okay.
So I think I might have mentioned her. She's from over by Multnomah Falls. So she said it was kind of neat to be able to talk to somebody from home. So
in American English.
yes, in American English, because it's not stilted. But
Some of the homes also have these, and when they're there, that means that visitors can come.
and it's usually in a doorway.
Yes.
It just be and they're beautiful. They're all over the place. And I know that in the shop that Corey's house parents in Mashiko had a beautiful red one. It was just gorgeous. And sometimes they have 2 flaps, sometimes they'll have 4. Some of them aren't as long as this, some of them may only be this long. And they're just there. It's just a way of knowing that they're open. But yeah, this will have to be aired out for about 2 weeks. It is very strong smelling. Now, these are woodblock prints. And this is some of the types of things that they used to use for batiks around the world. And these all show different things with pottery. But they also use these wood blocks to make the batiks. They would stick it in, or they would put it in the wax and then stamp it on the fabric. And this is where they would get the resist for the batiks or the indigos. But he had gotten these for me, and I'm gonna frame them up because you know I don't want to send this to anybody.
No.
And then these last pictures here, the folks that he stayed with, and I know the son's name is Sanjay. I cannot pronounce his mother's name, but this was her grandmother
Oh,
doing the
okay.
pottery. And normally in Japan, businesses do not go to the daughter. But in this case, they did because the family, when the family's patriarch died, there were two businesses. There was a pottery business and a bicycle business. The brother took the bicycle business, the sister took the pottery. And so this pottery business is the mother's, and it's going to go to her son, but it goes matriarchal instead of patriarchal. That
No, it
correct?
goes patriarchal instead of
Yeah,
matriarchal.
well, but in this case, it went the reverse.
Yeah.
So, but this was her grandmother. This is not their particular ladder kiln, but I thought they were beautiful pictures. And then last but not least, these he got in, I believe he got this one in Mexico. This is a cover for a pillow. And this is a hanky he got in Thailand for me. And both, how can I not love blue? You know,
Cobalt blue
cobalt
is her
blue is
thing.
my color.
So, yeah.
So, but yes, I'm almost done talking about Japan. I have one last thing to do, and that's to make the yukata, which is a gentleman's robe. And I'll show it off. And then I'll be done talking about Japan. But I'm glad he's home. I'm relieved that he's home.
Yes, yes.
Not that I worried about him at all when he was in Japan because I knew he was safe there. But the getting to and getting back is what had me worried with everything that's going on in the world. I just was happy that he came home okay. I'm a worried mom.
Well, there were a few, plane crashes and disappearing planes. So.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Angela. Those are beautiful. You know, my birthday's coming up.
That's
Oh.
before yours.
Oh, and did you want to mention this?
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
One other thing is over this last weekend, when I went to visit my son, my husband surprised me with a visit to see Charisma Horton and the gals at the Fabric Patch. They had a friend that their IT gentleman came over, and his name is Michael Holmes, and we all met at the Fabric Patch Retreat Center, excuse me. So the Fabric Patch Retreat Center. And they opened this up. They can accommodate 10 quilters with plenty of room for anything you need. I don't know if I can hold that still enough for you, but this is up in Ephrata, Washington. And she says,
We'll put the website.
yeah, we can put the website on there, and it's beautiful. We stayed my husband and I stayed in a queen size bed, and it was wonderful. It was better than any hotel room. I mean, we even got to have Cujo with us.
Oh.
So, but they were very, very hospitable. They had a huge barbecue. There were like 20, 25 people there. They have a huge barbecue on the premises.
Road trip.
Yep. And it's just beautiful. They do a very nice job. So, thank you, Cindy. Oh, Cindy Rang is the owner.
Okay.
So, But thank you.
Uh-huh. And now, since school is starting, I have my granddaughter and her friend, Amanda and Brittany, who are here today, and they're going to help me. Are you
Hello.
ready for school? Hi. What grade are you going into?
I'm going into fifth.
Into fifth grade. And what grade are you going into? Fifth grade. And where do you go to school?
Otto Peterson Elementary,
In
Scappoose.
Scappoose, Oregon. And the school colors are
Orange and black.
orange and black. Of course, we know orange and black. So I'm going to have the girls help me to show some of the projects. So, remember last time we talked about strips? So if you want to,
Ooh, those are pretty fabric.
aren't they pretty? So if you want to hold those, just hold them. And then that one was Kimberly Garden by Freshwater. And then the other one was the Java Batiks, also by Freshwater. And these reminded me of the 40s. So I decided that I wanted to use them. So you can set them down on the table if you want. So we have an apron. Just have to get the sash untied. So, and it's, the blue is Freshwater Naturals. And then we were doing strips. And so I took one of the strips and cut it. And so the pocket is out of strips.
Oh, this is really pretty.
Isn't that pretty? So that reminded me, it's a little big for you. Well, we'll tie it around you anyway. That will really keep her clean when she starts baking, right?
I did do cupcakes in the fair.
Oh, good.
I got first place.
Yay, first
And
place.
this like special award thing that I don't know what it's called. Something
Best of show, I bet. Yeah,
like that.
for cupcakes,
I think
okay.
it was like judge's favorite
Oh,
of
good.
that class.
And then the other, since I was doing aprons, why then I decided I needed to do an eagle apron. I was just into aprons for some reason. So this is our eagle fabric. So I decided. So this wasn't made from strips, except that I did cut 2.5 inches. So it was the same as what our other strips were. So you can model this, my dear. You notice how tall she's gotten. And then from the batik, Java Batiks, remember last time I sewed on our how-to section, and let me see if I can fold this part first. So here, you want to hold that without folded. And then Amanda. So we sewed the strips together, then cut them in half, sewed them back together, cut them in half, sewed them back together, and then it was vertical. Well, I decided to make it more interesting, and so I cut, you got long arms, hold it up that way. So I cut 5.5 inches off each side and then put them on the other side, reversed them, so it has a little more movement, and just made it a little more interesting. And it probably will not be a quilt. I'm going to do something different with it. So next month, you'll see it even different. So you can just start with the 2-inch strips and do, you know, all kinds of things. So thank you, girls.
This is really pretty.
Thank you. And then we have another one that was strips. And this is one that Amanda and I did together.
Whoa.
Hold it up. So it started out as strips, and then she put two of them together. I should have brought one like this. Sewed them the squares around the outside, 12-inch squares. Cut them diagonally, opened them up, and put them back together.
Whoa.
And then so she designed it. Do you want to hold it up high?
So we're back with the guys with the sew it together, cut it up, sew it
And sew it again. Yeah. And then
teach girls at such a young age to do this.
oh yes. Oh yeah. She's been sewing since she was 8. And we'll have to get you started.
Yeah, I want to.
You want to? Okay. So, and this is just sew and stitch in the ditch. So, isn't that pretty? It's one of my favorite things that she did. And then I liked that this had red and blue in it. And so I sewed 2 of them together. And then, yes, I cut the strips together in 2.5-inch strips, and then turned them opposite directions and made 4-patch. And I was going to make it, just to go on the table. But when I look at it, this is what I see. An apron, yeah. So I probably will turn this into an apron. I'm into aprons right now.
But
And
could it do double duty?
Yeah, it could do double duty. And I added rickrack because that was kind of the 40s. 40s and 50s, well, in 60s and 70s, I was still wearing aprons a lot. So, let's see. So I thank you, girls. That's all. Oh, one more thing. Do you want to pick up the iron for me? Just pick it up. Yeah. This is the new Oliso iron, and it's the one, it's iTouch. I don't have an iTouch phone, but I have an iTouch iron, and it's the kind where when it's plugged in and you touch it, it goes up by itself. So I don't have to lift it. It's good for arthritis, which I do have arthritis, but so it works really well. And this is limited edition, so they will be in your quilt shop, but probably only for a month after you start watching the program. So thank you very much. And before you go, let's see, this is for you, and this is for you.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. And you can take the aprons off later. So thank you. You did very nice job. The other project I did with strips was a split rail fence, and we sewed it together last month on our how-to section. And then I put just the backing on with Warm and Natural. And then I didn't stitch in the ditch, and you can't see the stitching, but I went in the middle, and I did a wavy thing. So instead of just doing stitch in the ditch. And then I'm going to do some decorative stitches. I have a new embroidery machine, and so I'm going to try it out on here. So that was my other strip project. And we'll be back with Peaceful Moments. Welcome to Peaceful Moments. And we've talked about peace person to person. We've talked about having peaceful environment. We've discussed a little bit about finding peace in the community. But today, since school is starting, I want to discuss just a little bit the problem of bullying, because there cannot be peace if everybody's bullying each other. And it's become such a difficult situation in schools, especially high schools, but now there are even younger children taking their own lives just because of what other people are saying about them. And when you're younger, it's hard to remember that what other people say really isn't that important. But what the words that they say often do make the young people feel like they're worthless, or they believe the horrible things that are said about them. Now there's also a problem because with the social media, they put things out there on Facebook and everybody reads it. And then kids think, oh, how awful is this? It's just, terrible. It's important for parents to remember to monitor what is happening on that computer, or even now on their little iPhones, because they can read what's on their iPhone, what people are writing on Facebook. So for any kids, young people that are watching us today, remember that what you say can really destroy someone else. As we get older, we begin to realize that, we really shouldn't say those things. And we need to think about, is it really necessary to say? Is it going to hurt somebody? And often it's stupid, dumb, and teachers don't use stupid and dumb. I didn't ever use them in my classroom. But now, as we think about it, a lot of the things that you say can really hurt someone else. And the only way we're going to have peace in this world is if we have peace with each other. And so as you're starting back to school, and parents as your children are starting back to school, and grandparents as your grandchildren are starting back to school, remind them that each person is very special, that God created everybody to be who they are, and God made you who you are, and you are all very special. So try not to listen to the bad things, try not to listen to the hurtful things, and remind yourself in your head, God made me just the way I am, and I may want to change a few things as I grow, but I am important, and I have worth, and I'm supposed to be here. And who knows what job you might have or what God has planned for your life. So I thank you for being with us, and we ask that God watch over you and give you peace, and watch us next time on Oregon Quilting.